Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, instead of a Paint Tool Sai tutorial, let's just do one on paper. I finally, how to describe this, found some way to build a tripod-like mechanism, which I may show you guys later. Hint hint, it has something to do with books. Yep, so today we're working on drawing the female anime face. And this will be a very general face. If you guys want to see more designs or more in-detail tutorials with parts of the face, such as the eyes, the hair, the ears, etc., etc., I will have those out soon eventually, but at this moment, this is just the general face to show you the placement of everything and how big certain things should be in comparison to everything else. So the first thing you want to do is draw an ellipse-like thing. I can't really draw ellipses because usually I just skip all these steps, but this is very helpful for beginners to get a grasp of the shapes. So this is my ellipse-like thing. I know, I've already failed at being an artist. Can't draw an ellipse. Alright, this is my ellipse. Okay? Don't judge. Don't judge. Now second, you want to divide this in half. Right down the middle, and this way as well. Leave a bit more space on the bottom, so like this. Okay? So you've divided it now in half down this way and more like 45% this way. Now with this beautiful ellipse-like object that you've created that will hopefully be better than my ellipse, you can practice your ellipses. You will now draw the chin and as well as the top of the head. So the chin, you can just follow the sides of this ellipse for now, and then you can come down and point it towards the middle. Try to make both sides symmetrical. I know ideally you shouldn't have symmetrical faces, but try. Okay, so just gotta fix that up. So you've more or less just followed the shape. Okay, until this line. And here you have the bottom of your face pretty much done. And now when you do the top of your head, you can actually afford to go a bit more like this. Okay? Because your skull is actually bigger than the bottom of your head, so yeah. Oh my god, getting smudgy. Yep. Now you have your head. And when you do make the skull, don't go this much more out, because that's like an afro skull and nobody has an afro skull. You would have problems if you had an afro skull. Anyways, so now you have the general shape of your head. Keep in mind that this is for the female head, because the male head is slightly different in terms of their structure. Now, you're gonna go and make the eyes, baby. Okay, so first, you're going to put a bottom line, like this, for where the bottom of your eye will be, and this line here will be the top of your eye. Now, if you want, you can put like a middle part of your eye, and I guess this is where the exact smack dab of the face would be when you do that. Yep, so now you have 3 lines that will give you guidelines for where the middle of the face is, and I just noticed my lines are actually crooked. Lols. Yep. So now you have 3 lines. And in terms of the size of the eyes, you don't want to make them too big. They're usually sitting in the center of these lines, and in the smack dab middle, there should be a 1 eye space. So like, depending on how big your eyes are, there should be a 1 eye space between your 2 eyes. Now you draw your eyes. The top of the eyelashes will sit on the top of those 3 guidelines we drew, and the bottom of your eyelashes can just sit on the bottom like this. Okay? And you want to try to make your eyes identical, because in this front view, they should more or less be identical. And you can just erase your imaginary eye there. Draw back those lines if you want to. So now you have some eyes. And your nose is just a bit lower than eyes, down the center line, this line here. And I usually just draw like this little midgety thing that looks sort of like this. Yep, like an upside down mountain with a non-flat bottom. Okay, and then we're gonna draw the mouth. The mouth, you should not put too high like this, because then that's gonna give you some really big chin. This would be okay. Like, don't put it too low, but as well don't put it too high. Around the area where the chin starts is a pretty good area. Maybe even higher would be nice too. And your mouth usually just looks like this. If it's a smiley mouth, the two chunks of the mouth and then the bottom lip, which you can actually make fatter if you want to give them like Botox lips. Ha 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 ha, Botox lips. Okay, yeah. That's how I draw my lips anyways. Keep in mind that there are different ways you can draw them, and perhaps I'll make a video on that too. Because depending on the shape of your lips or what kind of lips you want, you can jazz it up. Alright, now so you have this basic face. Let's just give them some eyelids and eyebrows. Now the eyebrows is just placed some distance away from the eyes. Don't put them all the way up here, because that physically does not make sense. Even if you're making this really surprised face, your eyebrows should not go that high, just because of your muscles. And your eyebrows are pretty similar. You don't have to make them twins, but make them identical. So don't make one like this thick while the other's like that. Unless your character design happens to be like that, that is fine. So your eyebrows are just like really normal. I don't know how to describe it, a slight curved line, not too curved like this, because then they look like they are stuck with this tattooed on eyebrow that will forever make them look surprised. Yep, so these are your eyebrows. And now you want to draw on the double eyelids. And at this point you can start erasing some of your guidelines around your eyes. Yep, so this is the top of your eye. And your eyelids usually are just like this line that lays flat close to your eyes, because when you draw eyes, you usually have an eyelid if your character is double eyelid. You can have like these kinds of eyelids. You can have a higher eyelid. You can have, I don't know how many kinds of eyelids, like double eyelids that way. I don't know, like go wild with your eyelids. People are cool. There are many types of eyelids. Or you can make them not have eyelids. That's cool too. I don't actually have eyelids, so yeah. But yeah, just a mini eyelid that tuckers in, following the shape of the eyelashes. Now we're gonna draw on the ears. And the ears are more or less just about the size of the eyes, except I like to put them slightly lower than eyelashes. Like you can tell they don't reach the top line here, just a bit lower, and then they go to the ears. That's why it's important that you don't make your ears huge. And for now, we're just gonna make them that shape, because we're cool and nobody needs to know how to draw detailed ears. So yeah, you can just add like your fake lines that look like you know how to draw the inside of ears. I will have a tutorial on that. It's just that I'm too lazy to do that, right? Okay, now you have a part of a head. Let me just draw back the eyebrow. Okay, now we're gonna draw the neck. For the neck, you don't want it to be too thin. Like this is too thin. That head will literally just snap off the neck and roll away. So you want to give it a bit more, like here-ish is good. So you don't want to put it all the way at the end where the chin starts. More like midway-ish. Midway is pretty good. Like this. And it goes pretty straight with a bit of a curve at the end. And then partway, it goes like this for the shoulders. And then you have the round parts for that part of the shoulder. I do not know my anatomy, okay? Now you have your collarbones, which look like that. Let me just slide that up there. Collarbones, which are more or less just a bit lower than the shoulders. And then you have this little nubby part there that goes inwards. I do not know the names of everything, I'm sorry. Yep. This is what a relaxed person would look like. Because if they're tense, their shoulders, of course, will look a bit different. Now we're gonna draw some hair on this person because you don't, well, you can make them bald, but if you want to give them hair, let's give them hair. So usually they have a hairline. Let's just say the hairline is right here. Okay, once again, it follows the shape of the head. It's like a smaller version of your ellipse that you made here. Let's say this is their hairline, okay? Now, if we want to give them, a side bang, you just take that hairline, go down, and, you know, sweep behind the ears. And then the hair sort of follows that shape. Okay? So you see how the hair all generally goes this way to follow the shape of the skull? And the same goes like this. Okay? Now you can always add volume at the top. Don't make it flat by following the bottom of the skull. It should have volume at the top because obviously most hair isn't flat. And once again, you just follow the shape of it. Now you can start erasing the skull once you have your volume added on. And in general, you follow the shape of your skull still to draw the hair. Unless you got some like really wild hair or some shonen style that requires you to defy gravity. Okay? So these are your hairs, which I guess don't defy gravity. Okay? You can have it tucked in and then some falling behind. Now hair usually gathers at one point. In this case, it would be here, which is where your hair swirl and bob thing is, or where your natural hairline is. You can see everything sort of gathers there. And then hair is pretty fine. I will have another tutorial on that as well. But this is basically what your basic anime face looks like. You can start erasing things. Like so, when you decide to fine line it, you may fine line it. Here, so this is what your face looks like. You can now start putting on some details to make her face less bland. Because face it, this is a pretty bland face. Like, you know, maybe stick on a clip. This is a cool girl, okay? And if you want to make it look like she has some really nice eyelashes, add some eyelashes. You can add them in the front. And they're just little small wispy things. Or you can put them in the back. They literally just look like, wait, let me just draw on the top layer of eyelashes. Just the, like, you know, the chunk of your eyelash. And you can just add them like little flippy things. Don't, okay, depending on your style, I've seen some people do these ones. Okay? So it depends on how you want to do eyelashes, but in general, I like to give them like a slight curl. Cool, cool. And we're just gonna fill in the eye. I have an anime eye tutorial if you guys want to see that. However, that is for Paint Tool Sai. More or less, the rules of drawing it still applies. Here, and then I just fill that part in. And you have your face. Yay! Satisfaction? Yay! Here's your face. Just because I like volume in hair, I'm gonna add a bit more on the top. Yep. Now you have a face. Cool, guys. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll have more tutorials up and see you guys later. Bye-bye. Here's your face. Hey!